Does God exist? Or are we just a byproduct of evolution? Some people say you should believe in God because your life will be better. But I don't want to believe in God because my life will be better. I want to believe in God because God exists. So how can I determine if God exists? What should be my main purpose in life? Why am I here? What am I doing? If God exists, all I have should be dedicated to His service and to a greater end. If God doesn't exist, well, what are we doing? To me, this isn't a debate about can I win this argument in any way. I'm not trying to do any gotcha debate about this. I just want to know the truth. The whole foundation of my life was built on the idea that God exists. And over the last years, I've been having a hard time giving that up. I just don't know why I'm here if He doesn't. And that's what's been so difficult for me about this journey. If you ask a therapist or somebody, hey, I'm going through this hard time, I just can't find myself. I can't seem to orient myself in the world. Like, God was everything that my life evolved around. And they're like, oh yeah, we got to work through this. We got to give you some tools. It's like, fuck that. I'm not here to have some tools to get through life with. I want the truth. I want to know what's going on. If God really did exist, wouldn't He show up when there was big tragedy, when something bad was going to happen? When Hitler comes along, wouldn't God show up and be like, hang on, a whole bunch of people are going to die here? No, He doesn't. Everything works according to natural causes, it seems to me, in this world. And when bad people come along, God doesn't show up. He doesn't come along. Maybe He does sometime later. Maybe He does in some form. Maybe He does in some hidden nature, but He doesn't stop bad things from happening to good people. That's for sure. Ever since I lost the core God that I believe in, ever since I left, let's say, that foundation belief, I've kind of been spinning. I've been wondering, why am I here? What am I doing? What am I supposed to be doing? Am I just supposed to work for nothing? I mean, for myself, for earning money, so that I can have a good life and die in 70 years. Like, is that why we're here? Well, maybe. I don't know. I'm just saying. It's been hard. It's like, what are we doing? There's a saying that goes something like this: evil always destroys itself. But there's another saying, something like this: evil will always win because good isn't willing to do the things that evil's willing to do. Man, they both seem true to me. I don't know. There's been a lot of evil happen on this earth. If God really existed, I think He would have showed up for some of the worst tragedies that could have happened. Or maybe He has stopped some. I don't know. Seems to me like we humans have to defend ourselves. Leaning on somebody else hasn't worked all that great, has it? Some people might ask me, are you not aware that most everything you do is based around the foundations of Christianity, God, morality? And the answer is yes, I know that. And I'm not trying to argue against it. But does that make God real? Is it mythical? Is God a myth? Is it really the best possible way for us to live our lives, to believe in God if He doesn't exist? There's just so much evidence that He might not exist. It seems to me that the laws of physics, when we humans follow them, they work. I'm not so sure that God made those rules. I'm not so sure that God can go against those rules in any way. Perhaps we as a civilization have not fared so well since so many people stopped believing in God. But I want to ask you if civilization really fared that good when people did believe in God. How many people were murdered in the name of God? I'm not sure that we're that bad off over the last 100 years when so many people have stopped believing in God. Perhaps many more people were slaughtered under the guise of God, under the fighting for your religion cause, than have been for any other purpose. As a boy, I believed in God 100%. I believed I could walk and talk with Him in my heart, listen to Him, tell me how to be a good person. The spiritual feelings that I've received by yearning to God are so strong. No matter how hard I've looked at all the evidences that God doesn't exist, I still want to believe in God. I don't like the idea that He doesn't exist. It hurts. But we have to face the truth. And if that's part of facing the truth, we got to ask the questions. And if we just don't know, we're going to have to accept that. Do the foundations of morality come from God, or do they come from not hurting each other in any way? Perhaps the principles that we are to live by, if we believe in God, are good, and therefore we need to believe in God in order to believe that those principles are the right principles to live by. Or is it possible to just believe those principles are the right principles to live by, even if there isn't a God? For me to say I truly believe in God 100% and give my life to that cause, that's a big commitment, and I wouldn't do it lightly. I've lived half my life that way already, and I'm not so sure that that brought me to a place that improved me. I'm not so sure that that brought me or anyone else in this world benefit, joy, good. Why is it that we are ruled by people who are willing to look beyond and outside the limits of God? They're not willing to follow His rule. They seem to rule us day in and day out, century in and century out. Is religion but a control? But there's something I've noticed, and that is, when I see a group of people that believe in God, I see beauty. Maybe that's because of my beauty standards, I don't know. But it seems like when people degenerate away from God, they lose their beauty. To me, one of the testaments of God, or one of the things that I perhaps could live my life for, is to see the beauty of this world, of other people. It's just such a wonderful thing. Beauty, art, nature. I want to think that that's a testament of God, but I keep asking myself, is it not just a testament of nature, of evolution? But it's not just beauty I love. It's the feeling and the spirit of beauty that I love. It's not just nature that I love. It's the feeling it gives me. It's the inspiration and the peace. Is God not somehow in that? To me, happiness is having purpose, beauty, and love. But purpose seems to be the most important, and it seems to be the reason for beauty and the reason for love. It's not so obvious to me that I can have a good foundation of love or beauty without purpose. And random religion is not purpose enough for me. I have to really believe it, and I have to really know it's true. And maybe that's one of my faults. Perhaps I would be better served to be more satisfied with not knowing and to go about life in that way. But I can give my all better if I really have a purpose. It is possible for me to find another purpose in life, like business or doing good for somebody. But it doesn't carry the same power that something beyond this life does, like God. It doesn't have the same meaning. It doesn't have the same drive. Nothing has made me feel better in my life than truly pursuing a purpose and giving my all for it. But it better be the right one. And if God isn't the right path, if God doesn't lead to a better future, why should I take that path? Everyone wants you to believe what they do about God. Atheists are going to jump on this and be like, of course he doesn't exist, and name all their reasons. And Christians are going to want me to see the beauty in Christianity. But man, it's hard to see things from a different perspective. We just all want to believe only what we believe in. And it's really hard to get our minds out of that groove. And that's another reason that makes me wonder if God has been so deeply ingrained into me that I just I have a hard time finding a different purpose. If the past is any guide for the future, we have very little past 100 or 200 years of people that don't believe in God. And we have thousands of years of people that do. It seems to me like this is kind of new. What is my conclusion from all these thoughts? It's simply that I don't know. I don't know the best path to believe. I know that I cannot join any particular religion and just go all in, because once I go all in on something, I'm not sure that I'll ever be able to come out of it. And I want to keep my mind open. The only God I believe in right now is keeping my mind open to new ideas. I don't want to get a closed mind. I want to be logical and reasonable. And I cannot be overtaken by the spiritual power that once completely had me convinced that God existed. The God that each person believes in seems to me to be influenced more by that person than they would ever assume. If you believe that you can succeed in something, God will help you. The God you believe in. If you believe that you can't and that you're a failure, God will give you consolation. Your God will help you. I'm not sure that's the God that I want to believe in. The God that I want to believe in is only a true God, not somebody that's going to pacify whatever feelings I have according to the situation I'm in. If there's one thing in life that I don't want to lose, it's my youthful energy. And it seems that including God in my life has given me more youthful energy. Guilt, I don't like that part of religion at all. But including God in my life has seemed to give me youthful energy. And where I see beauty in the world, it seems that I see God in those people's beliefs. And I want to be around people that have youthful energy and beauty. That's important to me in the art, in nature, and in habits and surroundings. There is one thing that I have totally moved on from, and that is guilt. I hate guilt, especially when I know I'm not doing something wrong and other people try to make me feel guilty. I do not like that about any religion that makes me feel guilty about what I'm doing when I know I'm not doing wrong. I cannot stand that part of religion. You know, to me, that does not include God anymore. That used to include God in my life, but now God does not make me feel guilty. I do not like the feeling of guilt when I know I'm not doing something wrong. I don't like when other people are around me and they are like, oh, I feel like, I feel like this is wrong. I don't like that feeling. I don't like that anything about it. I don't want to feel guilty, especially when I know I'm not doing something wrong. Perhaps gratitude is the feeling of God. When you just feel really grateful. When I'm in nature and I just feel really grateful and blessed, perhaps that's the best feeling I can describe as God. So what do you believe? What has worked in your life? Do you believe in God or do you believe in evolution? What do you think the best path forward is for us as humanity? Let me know in the comments below, guys. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.